Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be watching some crazy locked up story times. Now y'all better brace yourself for this first story. Man, that's going to give you a crazy twist at the end, okay? But I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget, if you are not subscribed, to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm going to be dropping these back to back. Also, it looks like the sound has been corrected with the voiceover, so I appreciate you guys' patience for sticking it through with me. So, without further more, you guys enjoy the videos. I will be back at the end.
When people ask me what's the craziest thing I've seen in prison or circumstance or situation that I was around in prison, there's a few stories, but I tell this one because it doesn't necessarily include violence. And it shows you how twisted prison can be and why you should never want to go to a place like that. It's basically what happened, and of course I'll change names, etc. Out of respect for anybody, you know what I'm saying. But I find it important to educate in this moment why you shouldn't go to prison, right? So to put it in short, young man had came up there to Sussex too. By this time, I had been down a few years, and I could tell when he came into the dorm, he had not been locked up anywhere, probably but the jail. He didn't know what was going on. He was green. And if I could see that, other guys could see that. And what happens in an environment, a couple things. Sometimes you get left alone, where I was at. Sometimes the gang members are going to approach you to see, what you down with, what you rep, if they see tattoos, etc. And then sometimes the old heads that's into certain things, and not just the old heads, it could be anybody that's into certain things, they going to approach you and try to manipulate you so they can get you in their pocket and eventually get some favors from you. That's what happens. People don't talk about this stuff. And again, it doesn't happen for everybody, different systems, different situations. But I'm just saying, this is what was happening in this moment to this young man. Because while he sat his bag down and came back out of his cell just to see what was going on in the environment, asked the CO some questions, because obviously he had never been here before. One of the old heads that was into no good, was known to have several relationships and even been known to do some pimping and pandering back there. Believe it or not, because that's something crazy that happens in the system sometimes. He approached this young man, and it was like clockwork. Not even 30 minutes later, I seen this young man, and so did everybody else, because the dorms was so big, with soups in his hand. He was smoking roll up in the corner. That's tobacco. Now the problem is this: he has never went to commissary, so that means somebody had given him this stuff, and who had given him this stuff was the older gentleman that was down on him for reasons he probably didn't know about. Well, over time, it went from the young man having a couple of soups to eat every night and being happy about it and thinking he met a new friend, to sitting down and making meals with the older gentleman. Eventually, over time, they would move in to the cell together. It happens in prison, y'all. Again, everybody doesn't do the same things. I want to be clear. There's a lot of stigma when it comes to certain things. To each his own. Everybody's preference is everybody's preference. But it does happen back there. It does. And it's not uncommon to see two men move into the cell with one another, if they're in a relationship. And so this young man moved into the cell with this older guy. All this probably happened in the course of 3 weeks. Because the older gentleman, he had some influence on the compound, so it was easy for him to get some cell changes done with the COs, etc. Around this time, they had passed a rule up there where you could put your pictures of your family members and loved ones on the wall. This was a big thing. May seem so small to y'all if you've never been to prison, but to be able to put pictures of your loved ones on the wall, that is amazing. That's fire, and it's needed. You need sometimes to be able to get up, see a picture of your mom or your child or whatever, and be motivated to get through the day. So everybody was excited, and as we found out the story from one of the young man's homeboys later on, because we want to know what happened. What happened was the young man was putting his pictures up on the wall, and the older gentleman seen a picture of somebody looked familiar, and he asked the young man that he was in a relationship with. He said, "Hey, who is that?" The young man said, "Oh, that's my mother." Old head, being manipulative and all that. You know what I'm saying? I guess he was trying to get in with his mom at the same time. I don't know. But he was like, "Man, let me talk to her one time. I think I know her. You know what I'm saying? Such and such." So Evidently, the young man said, "Cool, you might do." Da, da, da. Now, I want to tell you this: the young man was about 22 years old, 23 maybe, probably closer to 21, somewhere in that range. Old had been down for 20 years. So anybody he might have known, he didn't know anymore. So there's a part of me looking at the story or hearing about the story. Maybe he genuinely didn't know who this lady was and he was just reaching out to her. Maybe he got scared and wanted to double check. So I don't know what happened. But what I do know what happened next is that the young man that he was in a relationship with put him on the phone, three-way phone call. And I remember because we were playing poker right there, and the phone that we play or table we play poker at is right there by the phones. Why? We can get to the phone, we can run back to the poker table. We drink our coffee, we get back to the phone. It was just our spot right there. And you're not ear hustling, but a lot of times you hear the conversations. And I remember the two walking out, and I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, but it's so crazy. They're getting on the phone, and the young man says, "Hey, this my mama, you could talk to her." The old head gets on the phone, and probably not even, man, 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, you just hear him screaming. And when he starts screaming, he's looking at the young man. He says, "You're my son. You're my son. I've been messing with my son." He said a few other things. The young man started break down, crying, sobbing. It was, I don't want to use it. It was a horrible moment, right? Teach his own when it comes to preference, but this story illustrates a disconnect from society. Why you should do your homework just in life with anybody you deal with, especially in any way like that. You know what I'm saying? Relationship wise, etc. And yeah, it just reveals how sick prison is. You know, the manipulation aspect, and it's twisted because this old head who was preying on somebody, the whole time he was preying on his own son, and he didn't even know it. So yeah.
He's a big old dude. He had long dreads. He had no shirt on, just had on jeans. And he's just pacing back and forth, back and forth. And he's passing other people because other people is walking up and down the tier as well. And I noticed him because he was so big and the pace that he was walking at. And when he had went up and he was coming back down on this trip that he was coming back down, man, he just reached in his jeans and pulled out a joint and just started stabbing this dude. Now the dude that he started stabbing was trying to fight back. But man, he was just hitting him so hard and just so viciously. If you're looking at it from where I was looking at it, you would be surprised. And when you see only when he pulled back, you was like, it would look like he's just hitting him. But when he pulled back and you see this big knife in his hand, you was like, oh man, he's stabbing the dude. And then you start seeing blood and you like, boom, this is like something you never seen before, except for on TV. I hadn't seen anything like that before besides on TV. So it was shocking to me, and it was crazy, man, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, and I'm on the phone again with my mom, and I'm like, man, she like, what's going on? What's going on? And I won't talk him because I'm looking. And people is still moving around. People are moving around him, like getting out of his way, but people is still like it's normal. So when I'm seeing this dude and he just chop him all the way down to the ground, man, and he stab him, man, and dude, you could see the life going out of him because he went from fighting to just getting limp and he just was getting hit. And I'm like, I'm really like shocked, man. You know, it's freaking me out. And then I eventually told her, I said, man, I think this dude just got killed, man. He stabbed this dude. She was like, go to your cell. Go to your cell. I'm like, I ain't moving. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be moving. So I just stayed there and I listened until the phone even hung up. And I'm just watching, man. And he just calmly put it in his joint and just started pacing up and down the tier. Dude laid down there in the middle of the floor, man, and it's just like a pool of blood just starts getting bigger and bigger around him. And people is just walking around like it ain't nothing happened. No police came in there to save him. No police came in there to say stop. No alarm went off, no nothing. So I'm making a mental note of all of this in my head, man. Like this is, I'm in the jungle. This is crazy in here. And he walked up and down the tier, man, until they was ready to lock up. When they went to lock up, everybody got locked up. That dude was still laying down there in a pool of blood in the floor, man. So it was a wake-up call for me, man, to let me know where I was, to let me know the value of my life in here, to let me know what can happen. It was just crazy. And I wasn't even in the penitentiary for a good 2 weeks.
I lost a buddy of mine We in the dish room one day, laughing. He getting ready to go home in 10 days. They move him across the yard. About a week later, I get word he's got some debts on the yard. He's supposed to, pay up. The CO let these guys on. Boom. He's like, hold on, bro. And he goes in the corner. They start jumping him. You hear him, he's like, why y'all do that to me? Why you do that to me? One of the guys was like, man, stop following me. And he didn't stop following him. Nobody interjected. Nobody got in between. The guy turned around, hit him twice in the chest with his knife. This was a Saturday. You're supposed to go home Monday. Came out about 10 minutes later, started calling his name for visitation. His family had came up there to see him, so they couldn't find him. Leaned against the fence. When they tapped the fence, he falls over. He's blue. It's over with. So they lock the compound down. They tell his family that, visitation's canceled. There's been an incident, in the prison, but they didn't tell him it was their people. 2 days before he went home, over a 5-inch TV, black and white, might have been color.
And it's a no-no to look into people's cell. You don't do that. Don't be looking at shit you shouldn't be looking at. You might see something you don't want to see. Might see something you shouldn't see. Keep your eyes forward. Don't be looking in people's cell. You're looking for trouble. If you're doing that, you either don't know no better or you just don't care and you're built like that. Dude walks by the guy's cell that sleeps a couple cells down from me, and he's looking at cells as he's walking by, and I'm watching him the whole time, like waiting for him to look at my cell so I can ask him, the fuck you looking over here for? You know what I mean? Did you lose something? He looks in dude's cell and he keeps walking, he stops, and he backs up. And he goes, yo, homeboy, let me get some. And dude tells him, get some what? I ain't got none. He said, man, you got cookies in there. I just seen you with a bag of cookies. Dude said, man, I ain't got no cookies, man. Keep it moving. We looking at my cell, right? This dude goes down the staircase, gets two of his homeboys and tells them, hey, this dude's got a big ass bag of cookies up in his cell, man. We need those. Let's go get them. They go up to dude's cell and they stand at the door and they tell him, man, you know what time it is. Give us the cookies before we come up in there. And he tells them again, bro, I ain't got no cookies, man. Why you looking at my cell? I told you I ain't got no cookies. They tell him, look, man, we're not going to talk all day, man. We ain't trying to make shit hot. Give us the cookies before we come in there and take them. I ain't got no cookies, man. Ain't nobody got no food in here, man. I ain't got no cookies. No more rap. They go straight in the cell, knock, beat him up, smash him out, got him on the bunk, beating his face in. And the one dude is searching the cell looking for these cookies that his homeboys seen. They're midway through beating him up, and the dude goes, yo, stop. One of the dude's homeboys, right? And they stop beating him up. They're like, what? They're like, man, he ain't got no cookies. Dude said, I saw the cookies. He's like, nah, man. This weird ass dude saving orange peelings. Dude was like, I was gonna smoke those. What they thought they saw as cookies turned out to be that every time dude got an orange on his tray, he would peel the orange peelings off, and he was putting them in this little bag and letting them dry out and smoking them. They beat the hell out that man over some orange peelings. I watched him for the next week walk around with his big ass, massive, swollen black eye, knotted all the way closed, lumps on his cheek, lumps on his head, just messed all up because somebody else thought that he was holding out.
5 dudes went suicidal, you know what I'm saying? Damn. In one morning. Nigga, not we even got to lunch yet. These niggas is coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? Damn. You know what I'm saying? Niggas slashing their wrists, niggas jumping off the bunk, hanging themselves, all kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just they can't take it. You know what I'm saying? Well, the police is literally doing shit on purpose. It might be cold in the winter and they'll put on the fucking air conditioning. You know what I'm saying? It might be hot in the summer, they'll put on the heat. You know what I'm saying? It'd be torturous little situation. The fucking sink is not working. It'd be shit all in the, dirty shit in the sewage, and the water coming up in the sink. You can't wash your face right. You know what I'm saying? Just living conditions is rust all on the bed. You gotta sleep on the shit. Rust on the table. You know, they don't clean it. Don't even give you cleaning supply. I had to take my fucking boxes on my extra shirts and clean up, nigga. You only get one little bar of soap. That you use that up and it's gone. You ain't even got toothpaste to brush. I used to brush my teeth. Police didn't even give me a fucking toothbrush and toothpaste. So I started taking the toilet tissue, brushing my teeth, wiping my teeth off of my tongue with the fucking toilet tissue. You know what I'm saying? There's be certain shit, but dudes they couldn't take, and they go suicidal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes, attempted to take their life, and a lot of dudes was just faking just to get out of there and end up in the butt naked with a robe around, a blanket around you, you know, bouncing around up in the cell, acting crazy, shitting and putting shit all on the walls and, you know what I'm saying, playing crazy. And then next thing you know, I done seen a lot of them niggas come back too, half of they face drooping, cause they done took this medication, playing crazy. Now your ass crazy for real, high stepping slow, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, hey, my nigga, what's happening, blood? Like, nigga, he don't even know you.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, what happened to my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, talking to him on the yard, wait, bro, what happened to you, man? Man, they forcing the drugs on me. You know, cause they be taking might take it and spit it out. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers ain't stupid. Now they tying your ass up, hitting you with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And forcing them drugs on you. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to do that. I never went suicidal trying to get out of there. I just dealt with the pain, the struggle.
First day in prison. I'm 18, I weigh 100 pounds. I don't know what's going on. Now the side of the jail that I was on is for juveniles, and once you turn 21, you go to the adult side. Now, I'm in here with all the young wild niggas. You understand? We get 2 snack bags at the end of the day for each cellie. You feel me? At the end of the day, my cellie go out and get 1 bag. So I asked him, damn, where the bag at? He said, my man got that joint. So I'm like, damn, your man got that joint. What cell your man in? So he like 101 cell. I go over to the door. I yell out the door, hey, yo, 101 cell. He like, what's up? Where that snack bag at? I'm eating that joint. So this nigga bold as shit. I say, all right, we're going to rumble in the morning. That means we're going to do this. So bang. I go back and hop in the rack. I'm hot now because this nigga talking about this is, man, I just got here. I got to piece the puzzle together before I make a move. So it was like, all right. The nigga in 101 cell called my bunkie back to the door and shit. So he like, what's up? He like, yo, what's up with your cellie? Tighten your cellie up. I heard that. I jump out the bed. He don't know I got out the bed, though. I'm walking up behind the nigga. Yo, tighten your cellie up. So he listening at the corner of the door. So he turned around and hear what the fuck was being. If I heard what was being said, I crack him. Boom. We get the mix and I roll his ass. You know what I mean? All that. So they looking in our cell from the other cells like, yo, he in there fucking him up. Hey, yo, we gonna jump him in the morning. Cool. So boom. My man till today, his name Kev. He upstairs and shit. He yelled down the vent. He yelled, yo, nigga in 105 cell. I'm like, what's up? He like, yo, what part of Philly you from, bro? I'm like, shit, I'm from North. He like, shit, I'm from North. Them niggas from South. I'm gonna hold you down in the morning and shit. They said they gonna stroll you. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, shit, I ain't worried about it. He like, man, I'm gonna hold you down. So I'm like, damn. I don't even know who the fuck I'm talking to at this point. This nigga just heard the whole situation unfold through the vent. And he gonna ride out, being as though we from North Philly. So bang. Me and my cellie get it in a couple more times. I roll his ass. Boom, we go to sleep. Morning time come. All I hear is feet going down the steps. Down the metal steps. Fly in the 101 cell. Boom. That must be the ball. I slide in there behind him. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's crazy because you gotta fight for your own shit. That's how it is in prison, bro. You can mind your own business, be on your own job. But bro, it's niggas in there that will put you in situations to where as though you could get yourself more time. You can end up killing one of them motherfuckers, hurting one of them motherfuckers, getting shipped out. You don't know what the fuck end up happening just by going to prison. Stay the fuck out of there.
A drama with some people that their white supremacy group. I went into their yard instead of the other yard with my mates because I was like, I still had that attitude and I thought everything was mine. So I thought that yard was mine too, you know. So I walked in there like that, pretty much said, yeah, this is my yard now. They got on the Zannies and ice later on, they got a drop. Well, I went to jump on the phone and the phone was ringing. I think it was my ex-girlfriend and she'd picked up and then I felt like 2 on that side and 1 on that side. They just stabbed me. I turned that way, them 2 ran into the same spot, so they fell over each other. And when I turned the other way, no one was there. I ran straight to the front and put my back to the wall because I didn't know who the other person was. 2 of them have come up like that with their blades, and I'm like just standing there. And once they got a bit too close, I just sort of charged at one of them and hit him. But as I did that, this one's got me a couple more times. They ended up getting me 9 times altogether. The squad and all that ran over with the gas. I was at the back to the front of the yard. I seen their feet coming in, so I jumped up and like tried to throw a kick, but they jumped back. I've gone back down to get under the gas, but like I kept my eyes forward. The squad come in, they're like, stay there. And I was like, no fucking way, I'm not getting dragged out of here. Because I didn't want to get put in a wheelchair or have the clinic like drag me out on show in front of everyone. So I just jumped straight up, walked out, and I remember just standing there like staring into the yard, just thinking, fuck, I'll kill you cunts, you know. Yeah, sorry.
As you do, it's
fuck,
life and
like,
death at this point.
Someone yelled out and I was like, nah, no effect, you weak dogs. But I didn't know, like I couldn't see myself, but I was just covered, like just red from head to toe.
Fuck.
They'd punctured me lung, but nothing else really. I remember just thinking about my spine when it was going on, like trying to get my spine away from them. Because I thought, fuck, if I get hit in the spine, I'll be in a wheelchair, you know?
Spent 27 years in prison, been out 8 years. I'm going to tell y'all about the most traumatizing moment in my prison life. It was one time that me and this officer, his wife, I was at Jefferson Correction Institution. It was a long time ago when I had first gotten to prison. And I was at this institution, and it was a sergeant there, and I'm not going to call names, as a sergeant, male sergeant, and his wife that worked there. So the wife and I had gotten into it, and she had written me a DR. A DR is a disciplinary report, which interferes with you going home early. It takes your game time that you done earned from working hard, and it puts you in jail. Like you could be in jail 30 and 60 days and 15 days in that cell, you know, by yourself, just locked down. No canteen, no hygiene, no nothing. So me and the lady had gotten into it. Now, I hadn't done anything to her. For some reason, she didn't like me. Okay, so she come in the door and she being real nasty, man. Like, you know, that's what she do every day. You know, she come in, she just hollering at people, cussing at people, this, that, and the other. So I'm always sitting on my bed. I'm not bothering this lady. I don't say anything to this lady. So she called me to the office station. She was like, Tree, go pop your locker because you getting shook down today. I'm like, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. So I popped the locker. Bah. So anyway, she goes in the locker, right? And when she gets in the locker, man, she pulls out this little box, like a ring box. Now I know doggone well I ain't got no ring box in my locker. I would have known that. So I'm looking at her, she looking at me, we looking at each other, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So then she takes the box and she go in the middle where the office station at, and then she tell me to stand by the door. So I'm standing by the door, so you know I ain't worrying because I know I ain't had none. So then she goes in the back, right, and she calls me to the back, and she opens up the box, and inside the box is broccoli. You know what I'm saying? That stuff right there. So I'm like, She was like, yeah, we gonna drop a urine on you and you going to jail because you got possession of this right here. So I'm like, okay, so where that come from? I say, because I don't even, you know, that ain't my thing. So I don't understand where all this coming from. So anyway, she had to set me up, and this is the thing. Okay. One day I wrote her husband up because her husband was at the gate harassing people, and he had taken my necklace, and I had a property receipt for my necklace. I don't know why he took my necklace or what he had going on that he wanted to take my necklace out of all people's necklace. So I wrote him up. When I wrote him up, they reprimanded him. She didn't like that, so she came for me. I found this out in the end, so she came for me. Okay, so anyway, bam, they put me in the cuff. Take me to jail. Get to jail. Right, they script search me, and then they put me in the cell. Bah! Slam the door. So I'm sitting there, I'm laying there and everything, and I'm like, okay. So anyway, I wrote a request, and I asked to see the inspector. So the inspector came, so I ran it down to the inspector. I say, hey man, listen, man, ship me from the compound because, hey, I'm tired of, you know, this lady writing me up, because this was like her second time writing me up, man. Now the first time I was kind of off my bed for count, but that was petty, but she still wrote me up. So anyway, I talked with the inspector and everything because I wanted to put somebody up on this situation, because I already know it was finna try to be some foul play, because at Jefferson they was unaliving them inmates, coming in the cell talking about the inmates done, you know, did this right here, and it wasn't true. They was going in there unaliving them inmates because that's how they was getting down in Jefferson. So anyway, so bam, I wrote her up so good, man, you know, so they went back, they backtracked, they found out that she did set me up. But anyway, they fired her from doing it. They found out, they pulled cameras, and they watched the cameras, and they watched how she went in and did what she did. See, she didn't think them cameras was working as they were supposed to be working. But the inspector had some type of way. He zoomed in and he saw her do it. Thank you, Jesus. So anyway, she done got fired. So the husband now, man, he mad. So he coming for me. So I'm laying in the bed one night. I hear my cell, like 3 a.m. I hear my confinement cell gate. And when they hit the back, it had opened. So I'm laying in the bed like this. So I look. So I'm playing sleep, right? But I look through my eyelid like this right here. So he come and he stand over me. So in my mind, I'm saying, okay, Lord, I know that if I fight this man back, I'm going to get a charge. I know this is going to be a straight up setup, man. I'm going to be in this place so long, they ain't going to never let me out. So I'm laying there and I'm looking at him through my squinched eyes, playing like I'm asleep. So he pulling out cuffs, like putting the cuffs around his hand like this, almost like he finna just start while I'm asleep or something. So I'm just laying up there and I'm looking, right? So anyway, I start praying like in my spirit. I'm praying like, Lord Jesus, if I have to fight this man, I'm asking you to give me the strength, Lord. Give me strength like a man. Give me horse strength to protect myself. So while I'm praying, this lady come through and she called this name. And he didn't say anything. So she started walking. And so she get there. She was like, oh, what's going on here? He was like, oh, nothing. I'm just doing a random search. So then he comes out of cell and he like leaves out, and that's when they roll the gate back. She called. She was like, oh, you done in here? He was like, yeah. So she called. She was like, roll gate 9. I hear the gate going, bah! So that's how them gates be sounding, y'all. So I went back and I sat on the bed like this right here. You know what I'm saying? So I was, I got on my knees. Then I got on my knees and I started praying. I started thanking God. So next day, expect to come and see me. He was like, what happened last night? And I said, what you mean? He was like, what happened last night? He said, because, with situations like this, when somebody get fired and they still got this significant other working here, we kind of keep an eye on situations. And it's my job to watch the cameras to make sure everything is good with that inmate that we have in confinement, because the officers still have free access to roam around. I wasn't under investigation for him, so he is allowed to come in there. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, I was under investigation for the wife. I got her fired. So anyway, he was like, what happened? Because Sarge came in your room. What did he say to you? And I was like, oh man, I didn't even know they caught that. So he started talking to me about it. I said, man, I don't know what was going on. I said, but listen, I just want to put this out here, that if that ever happened again, I'm not just going to lay there, man. I'm going to get up and I'm going to protect myself. I say I was scared because I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I say I wasn't scared of what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't like he got one of these. I say as long as ain't not one of these in my face, I'm going to fight. You know what I'm saying? But I say the thing is, what scared me is that, I may have 20-some years, but I want to go home someday. I got dreams, man. I have big aspirations for myself. I see myself doing good in life. So I don't want to be stuck in here the rest of my life by fighting with one of them and getting another charge on top of the charge that I have and get more time. I said, and that kind of put me between a rock and a hard place. I'm looking at him like I'm not just going to lay here and let him do this to me. I say, but listen, detective, I need your word, man, that if this man come back or try something, if I fight him, that you not going to let them charge me. And he said, I tell you what, Tree, we can't catch everything. Like I didn't catch that until I went and looked on the camera, just doing random, detective work. He said, and that's how I caught that. He said, but if you ever feel like with this situation, like you need to protect yourself, you go ahead and do what you got to do. The only thing I need is a verbal statement from you with this tape recorder saying what happened in that room, so that if something happened, I have it saying that you told me about it. So I gave him that and everything. So once I gave him that, man, I was good to go. I went back to the room. I was even plotting it, boy. Let me tell you something. I had the blue soap. It's a blue bar soap. It's thick, y'all. It's like this right here. Man, that thing could be used as a weapon to knock somebody out. I had the blue bar soap, and I had like 4 or 5 of them in a sock. Had the sock rolled up on my hand real good, y'all. Laying in my bed like this with the sock ready to go. I was laying down like this right here. So he was doing his rounds, and he looked over there. And I said, Lord, he messed around and opened up this cell. I'm going to be the first one to swing. I was going to get that sock and boy, because it's like I hadn't had permission. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, y'all, that was the most traumatizing moment of my life, not because of what he can do to me, because I trust God and I know God had me. But we can trust God and still bad things do happen, even with us trusting God, because we live in a world of infallible world where things still happen, bad things still happen. But the thing is this. you know, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place because I knew that I was gonna have to defend myself, and I was ready to defend myself. So the thing is, I just wanted to put that out there. That was a very traumatizing moment for me, and I was thinking about it last night, and it's just something I never talked about because it still rolls over in my mind. So I just wanted to let y'all know, man, that was a traumatizing moment for me. Y'all be blessed.
So what do y'all think about the locked up story times? Like, there's so many, y'all. I can do part 2, part 3. Like, if y'all interested in these, let me know, because I would definitely collab some more and add extra. But I think those are just kind of interesting to watch. Of course, me, I've never been like locked up in no adult jail or prison. I have went to juvie, but that's it. So have any of y'all ever been locked up? Like, do you have any interesting story times? Does some of these stories sound relatable to you? Let me know. Definitely show me some love, and I will see you guys in the next video.